Welcome to Tarnation TV's broadcast of Talladega Nights Series Shake and Bake Season number 2. We have, of course, some technical difficulties there at the start, but so we got it figured out, so it's all good. Let me see here. Jeffrey, I hear the doorbell ringing.
Hello, Blaine. How you doing tonight, bud?
Oh, not bad, sir.
Well, I just want to come down here. I assume we are on live television?
Live broadcasting on televisions if people choose to do so, yes.
Awesome. I just want to, I'm going to bring you up there for a few minutes, and I want to say hello to everybody in the audience, and I'm going to bring you up there in about 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and do an introduction of our drivers for the audience and yourself, and you know how it goes, so I'll be bringing you up here real soon.
That's it. Thank you, sir. Looking forward to it.
All right, buddy.
So yeah, some technical difficulties at the start there, but we got it figured out. Thank you for watching. This is Tarnation TV. Links to everything you need is below in the description box. THORN is the name of the band we heard at the start there, as well as my buddy Jonathan Barry. Let's do driver introductions. Hey, good evening, gentlemen. Hopefully everybody's doing awesome today, looking for another wicked race. Looks like a whole pile of people came out again, so hopefully there's enough room in here for everybody. But thanks again. I'll give the microphone back to Mr. Jeffrey Elliott.
Thanks, Blaine. Good to have you broadcasting one of our races again, man. It's always a pleasure. And we're going to start, audience, we're going to start with the number 0 car. Go for it, Pat.
Pat McCarskey, Brownsburg, Indiana, 0 Wounded Warriors Dodge.
Bobby Farrell, Frederica, Delaware. Oh, sorry.
Gary Heiser, number 3 GM Goodrich Chevrolet out of Mount Sterling, Kentucky.
Bobby Farrell, Frederica, Delaware. STP Menards, Ford Mustang number 7.
Chris Elliott, driving the red Dodge number 9 Doritos car from Mooresville, North Carolina.
Kelly Causey from Lucedale, Mississippi, driving the 00 Mac Tools ASA Vortec engine Chevrolet.
Larry Wyndham, Blue Mountain, Mississippi, driving the 09 Chevy Delta Force Black Hawk Down, painted by Gary Mingus.
Driving the number 12 is Gary Slingshot Mingus from Tallahassee, Florida, driving the 4-scheme Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet Camaro.
Wayne Pridnow, driving at number 14, and he is from Wisconsin, and we are glad to have him to join us tonight. Thanks, Wayne.
Randy Claflin, car number 20, the Reds Apple Ale Ford Mustang. And I'm still trying to find out what a gribbon is.
Randy Waugh, Huntsville, Alabama, driving the red Alabama Crimson Tide Dodge. Hey out there, Zach and Corey.
Doug Hewlett from Plum, Pennsylvania, driving the number 23 Chevy Chevette.
Mark Pagley from Gainesville, Georgia, driving the 28 Woods Brothers Motorcraft Ford Mustang.
Number 31, Brad Otto, carrying the Talladega Nights colors, running for Wolfpack Racing.
Bill Evans, number 33. He is a Buckeye from Ohio.
Benny Carroll, Big Stone Gap, Virginia, number 41, Second Amendment, painted by Rodney Summons.
Bob Dixon, number 43, Richard Petty sponsored car. How about them dogs?
Tom Dixon, number 45 Chevy Batman car from Byron, Georgia. I'd like to give a shout out to Angela. You keep getting better, girl. We're praying for you.
Alex Moe from sunny Southern California, driver of the number 48 D Lowe's Chevrolet.
Ken Roberts, number 55, driving the Texas Pete Hot Sauce Chevrolet. painted by Rodney D. Solons out of Wisconsin.
Jeffrey Elliott driving a number 56 Puke Green Mountain Dew Chevy Ride, painted by our broadcaster. Actually painted by Mike Mangrum. Like, you didn't paint this one, Blaine, but thanks anyways. Good luck, everybody.
Keith Bynum from Austell, Georgia, driving the number 63 Hubcap Annie Chevrolet Monte Carlo. No, it ain't a Monte Carlo, but anyway, good luck, everybody.
Ray Hewlett, 81 Chevy Camaro, Doug's older and wiser brother.
Go ahead, Craig. Craig Hagley, the driver number 82. He is from Kentucky.
Grant Wesley, Evansville, Indiana, driving the number 88 NOS Energy Drink Dodge Challenger. And once again, go Kansas City Chiefs.
Mike Mangialardi, Federal Way, Washington, driving the 029 Ford Mustang Blackhawk down car. Shout out to the Rainier Room. All my friends are watching down there. Have fun.
Brian Lovell, driving the number 043 STP from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, Wolfpack Racing.
Nate Balser, driving the 079 car Van Halen out of Seattle, Washington.
Greg Lovell from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, driving the 088 Ford Mustang.
Outlaw from Sarnia, Ontario, driving the 327 regular 68.
Number 388, Dan Lovell from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, driving the Eagles car. One more week, championship, baby.
It's KD 55. I'll be driving the 660 Ford tonight in memory of my aunt just passed away this week. God bless her soul.
Joe Morbido, Newburgh, New York, driving the 662 tonight, looking for a sponsor. First night out.
Welcome, buddy.
John Godfrey, driving the number 711 Schluter's Camaro out of Cornelius, North Carolina.
Bob Seminara, driving a 712 Palm Coast, Florida. Mobs Motors, painted by Bernie. Bernie's Paints.
Michael Moore, driving a 740. I believe he's out of Oregon.
Robert Breedlove, driving a 931 Oreos Trans Am out of South Carolina.
Well, there you go, audience, and Blaine. Appreciate what you do for us. We just like to let's give him a little thank you, guys. You want to thank Blaine a little bit, guys?
Thank you, Blaine.
Awesome, Blaine.
Good job, Mr. Blaine. We appreciate you.
Quack,
quack, quack.
As always, guys, thanks for that. That's rather unique, the absolute shenanigans that happened. But anyway, shiny side up, keep it between the ditches. Have a good race, guys. Good luck.
Well, that's the Talladega Nights crew, Blaine. So good luck down up in the booth, and have a great race up there. There we go, guys. I'm going to bring them down.
There we go. The whole entire crew blowing the mics up as they always do here at Talladega Nights. Appreciate all those guys. And it looks like another full field today. Total drivers online. Looks like 39. Me being one of them. So 38 drivers on the track this evening. As far as this whole thing goes, last week, some stuff happened. Mostly racing. And here is the official standings after 6 races. This is race number 7 of 12, technically 7 of 10. After the 10th race, the points will be locked in. And we start the playoffs in race 11 and 12. Unfortunately, last race we had Nate Belser hit the grid, but then got disconnected or something. He was the car that we were looking at in row 3 that somehow didn't make the start of the race, so he probably had his game crash. We'll talk to him sometime today, figure out what happened there last week. That's kind of what happened to me at the start of the broadcast. The game decided to crash when I or my broadcasting software decided to crash when I launched the game. So it's one or the other. Crashes happen. As far as last week's post-race penalties went, Jeffrey Elliott was penalized 1 lap post-race, and so was Gary Heiser. They'll each be docked 1 lap in the final standings. As you can hear these cars driving around here, they sound a little different. I'm trying a different sound pack when it comes to the cars. Of course, designed by Pilotical. Big contributor to the NASCAR 2003 community over the past 20-something years. I've seen a lot of stuff come and go, and the Kyle Petty Racing Experience sound pack is like the only one I've pretty much used, but Pilotical released recently within the last 6 or 7 months or so an iRacing to NASCAR 2003 sound pack, which basically replaces all the sounds you hear from the engines of these cars with the ones that happen in iRacing. So that's pretty cool. A little experiment tonight, switching the sound pack up. Lots and lots of drivers. Thanks to everybody who is watching this thing live this evening. Benjamin Snyder in the YouTube chat reminding me that today is the 20th anniversary of NASCAR 2003. I bought this game brand spanking new, off the shelf of a video game somewhere. Can't remember where exactly I bought it, but I still have it. The box, the CD-ROM, and the instruction manual back in the good old days when video games used to come with instruction manuals. As you can see from the current point standings on your screen, Mark Pagula still holding on to number 1 position. Keith Bynum in second, Denny Carroll in third. Stephen Branstetter in fourth, Larry Windham in fifth, Jeffrey Elliott in sixth, Dan Lovell in seventh, Greg Lovell in eighth, Ken Roberts in ninth, and Bill Hemi Evans in the 10th position. All those drivers highlighted in green because as of right now, they would qualify for the playoffs. In race number 11, those 10 drivers, whoever's in those top 10 spots after race number 10 is official. We'll move on to race number 11, and when that race completes, that list gets knocked down to 5 when we go into race number 12. And out of those 5, only one person can win the Shake and Bake Championship trophy for season number 2. Last season, it was Greg Lovell in the 088. But as you can see there, the points are very, very close. Every race, if you win a race and lead a bunch of laps, you'll end up getting about 180 points for that one position, and then it's about 175. It goes down by 5s or so, depending on laps led. So Bill Evans occupying that last spot, and you can see, even though he's holding on to first place, only 189 of those points for Mark Pagula to fall completely out of that top 10. So he's not running away with it, but he's definitely in a good position here coming into race number 7. Like I said, we got 38 drivers on the track. They're currently just here in a practice session before we go to qualifying. From last race number 6, big movers and shakers, or gains and falls, however you want to call it. The biggest gains we had last week was Alex Moe, qualifying in 34th position, ended up finishing the race in 4th. Alex Moe currently sitting on the stats there, 16th overall in the points. So he's in a good spot. With finishes like that, and the top 10 finishes in the races, gathering those points up, definitely moved him up. He's now in the 16th spot, 125 spots out of that final position for the playoff start at the end of race 10. Another big mover with some big gains there last week, race number 6. Dave Jandry started in 28th position and finished in 6th. He, I do not believe, is in here this evening. Just checking the names. I do not see Jandry on there. But either way, that was a big move for him, so he's got come out of there with a bunch of points. And unfortunately for these next two drivers, big decline, obviously, in their points. Rodney Sullins qualified last week's race in first position. He was forced to retire, leaving the race in 28th place. Ken Roberts was right behind him in the qualifying, second spot.
Remember, one switch at a time, turning your
And then he fell off. Unfortunately, he was minus 2 laps. The car was still running. He was 2 laps off pace at the end of that race last week, and he ended up finishing in 25th. So that's unfortunate for Mr. Ken Roberts, Talladega Nights League administrator.
Remember, one switch at a time, turning your stuff on.
Drivers right now are getting ready to go to qualifying. So I will force you to continue to look at those current season points. Those are official. After each race is complete every week, the administrators, they have to basically peel through the replays and determine who got any penalties or forgot to serve the penalties, didn't serve the penalties proper, and then hand down points deductions. So Jeffrey Elliott and Gary Heiser were penalized a lap last week. They probably either pit illegally or had a black flag they didn't clear properly, or, something like that. Reasons unknown. All that is known to me is that they were docked a lap apiece post-race replay inspection. 57 laps on the clock again this evening. They bumped up the lap count. This is the Talladega Nights main event. 57 laps today. Looks like we're going to have 38 cars on the track. We run damage at moderate because this is Talladega Super Speedway. Moderate damage with Craftsman Truck Series physics in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series 2019 mod. So the cars look like they did in 2019. Paint schemes all that you see have all been created by different people. Every car on the track is an actual person sitting at a desk in a house somewhere on planet Earth. Of course, weather is turned off, so it'll just be a nice clear day with no wind, 70 degrees Fahrenheit track temperature. And we do run a fixed setup here at Talladega Nights, which means every single car on the track will run the exact same setup, which can be a whole lot of fun. There are some leagues that actually run with an open setup, which can be more fun because you can tweak the car in your pit stall. You can go into the garage and change a bunch of stuff to try to make the car faster. It's tough to do that, but it definitely opens up a lot more competition. But these fixed setups are really, really good. This setup is courtesy of Rolling Thunder Gaming, as is this track configuration for Talladega. Track has been modified slightly, not really visually, but more so like the grip lines where the cars can run. 3 and 4 wide racing is easily possible here with the setup that was also provided with the track. The boys over at Rolling Thunder Gaming, that league has been around just as long as this game has, 20 years. So they know what they're doing when it comes to tweaking setups and making them work in conjunction with the track setup. And if you have been watching these races, well, you know it has been exciting because that's the name of the game. Drivers are currently qualifying now. I'll give you a live view of the qualifying times are now coming up on screen. Bob Seminara putting up a 52.438. Another blistering lap. Heading into happy hour. Bob Seminara in the 712. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you, Blaine?
Oh, not too bad. Just looking at the lap times again. A blistering fast 52.438. It's familiar territory for you up front there, and you get that number 1 pit stall.
Yeah, we used to practice that a lot at the RTG, Talladega Challenge, but they took that away, so I got a chance to bust a lap, and it was pretty good.
What do you mean by that? Elaborate on that. Took what away?
Well, on Thursday nights now, they do a lotto qualifying where, it's pretty much random.
Oh,
so,
I thought lotto they did every other week.
Yeah, they changed that to season. It's every week, including the playoffs. So puts a different twist to it, and those guys that qualify well, it takes away their advantage.
I guess that's it. When you've got like a core 12 guys that are so used to just starting up front, it's nice to roll the dice and see where they land. But you got the number 1 pit stall this evening. So what are the plans? Anything crazy, or are you just going to find your buddies and see what happens?
Yeah, I came out to have a little fun. And try not to get too worked up about it. Try to find a safe place. And yeah, see if I got any friends out here.
I'm sure you'll have a lot of friends, because I've raced at Rolling Thunder a couple times a year or two ago now. But when you need to know how to get around this track, I just follow guys like you.
Thank you, Blaine. Yep.
Yeah.
Been doing it a long time. Thank you.
And I'll follow you. You'll drive away from me, but I'll try to follow you. But yeah, if you want to know the right way around this track. But anyway, man, we'll let you get out there.
I gotta have followers, so.
That's it. Yeah, you know what? You can't win if you don't have somebody pushing. So that's all part of the awesome way this track works. But I guess I'll let you get back out there for happy hour if you want to run some test laps. And good luck this evening.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good broadcast.
Thank you. Bob Seminara. He's won a couple of these. Easily won a couple of these things. Craig Hagley live on Tarnation TV. Good evening.
Evening, Blaine. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. So what's the plan tonight? Because this is another full field.
Probably just going to hang.
Oh, sorry. Say again. You were breaking up there.
Flags. Probably just try to stay in the for the first 2/3 of the race. Then take a chance and try still there.
Right. That seems to be it's one or the other. Guys either like staying in the back or they like being out in front of everybody. But you like staying behind everybody, eh?
Yeah, it's a whole lot easier to have everybody in your windshield instead of behind me.
Yeah, exactly. You can make your moves and anything crazy. It's easy to get out of line and give some space. But you looking to hook up with anybody out there to see if you can get a line going, or are you just going to kind of feel it out because there is so many cars?
I'll just feel it out to begin with. Probably whoever's running up in the high groove first.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite spots to be. So, I'll say good luck, and like I said in the drivers or in the driver introductions, shiny side up and keep it between the ditches.
Well, let's hope so. I appreciate it, Blaine. Appreciate everything you do on the broadcast.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate you guys showing up. This is definitely a lot of fun to call when there's 40-something cars on the track. So, thanks again.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Craig Hagley, driving the number 82. Currently not on the track, but that's no big deal. This is happy hour. Like I said, people, they'll come in and out of here, finding their pit stalls. Let's roll with a guy on pit lane here and see what these new cars, these new engine sounds sound like. Inside the cockpit of Mark Paglia. We'll flip up to Bob Seminara here. We were just talking to him. New sound pack, car engine sounds designed by Pilotical. You can find him in the credits at the end of these videos. He's on Reddit. He's on YouTube. Recorded sounds from the brand new next-gen cars in iRacing. Very, very cool. The cockpit, the inside the cockpit sounds pretty cool. It's got like a whine, like a transmission whine to it. Norwalk, Connecticut, LaJoie's Recycling, scrap metal recycling. Bob Seminary in the 712, head over to LaJoie's Scrap Metal Recycling and enter code number 712 for discount and checkout. But probably not. Bob right there getting her down to 54 precisely at the line, which brings me to the speed limit of pit road. The speed limit of pit road here at Talladega Super Speedway is 55. Should a driver get inside that line,
You're right. All right, Bob Dixon's favorite words, please.
Hey now, you're still in the Tarnation booth, bud. And there goes Jeffrey. I got to get in my car and retire this as these guys are getting ready to go racing. Race number 7. We're just going to wait for the Grand Marshal. Who's it going to be this? Thank you, Adam Sandler.
1 and 2 up here, so as you're going down the back stretch into 3, it may appear to me that they're inside, but they may be just shy of that. I'll really try to stay on top of that all night, buddy.
Thank you, Adam Sandler, the Grand Marshal tonight, apparently. I changed all my Grand Marshal sounds as well. This old game, this old simulator, whatever you want to call it, has definitely got a lot of cool options. Changing the car sound packs, changing the what do they call it? I was going to say the MC, the Grand Marshal, to start your engines call at the start. The way this track surface looks, because Talladega Super Speedway does not have a track surface like this. It's more of a concrete looking faded. I like to run this dark one sometimes just to change it up a little bit. And the cars themselves, I've downloaded just specifically for Talladega in the daytime. The shiny textures that are on the cars look a little bit different now too. Just to kind of set it apart from other broadcasts, just trying some different things, different sounds, some different visuals. Getting ready to go green here, 57 lap race. Pit window is going to end up being, as always, somewhere probably around lap 17 to 20. As the pace car gets the heck out of the way, let's get inside the 712 and listen to what it sounds like from Bob Seminaro's perspective. If you are watching the broadcast, don't hesitate to subscribe. Have yourself some good mosh pitting. Seminara running that line in the middle. Fastest way around this track. Not the shortest way. Uh-oh. That did happen before lap number 1. I don't know if they're going to reboot the server. Green flag is still out. No, yellow. It went yellow. Hey, Jeff, if you guys reset, it's totally fine, man. Nope, I guess not. Broadcast races, I guess they do not reset the server. Sometimes they will restart the race if some crazy stuff happens. It's a very short list. Very, very short list of why a race would be reset here at Talladega Nights. So usually it's like if it's a server failure and everybody gets dumped, obviously they'll redo that. I'm just trying to find the point at which... Oh, there it is right there. Oh, it looks like Mark Pagula. Is that Mark Pagula? Yes, it is Mark Pagula. He is the points leader. And that is no fun for him. See that again? Excellent camera angle behind the haulers. Can't see a gosh darn thing. How about we flip that to that right there? Slow it down a little bit. Hard on the brakes. Oh, wow. Ken Robertson, the 55, did not look like he hit the brakes at all. That 55 looks pretty wrecked. He's on the brakes there. Unfortunately for the points leader, Paglia, that is a lot of damage. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. It looks like he slid out of his line. His spotter may have told him he was clear. I will go back to live racing here. He's getting fixed up in the pits. We will focus on the 09 of Larry Windham. Larry Windham in the 09 car. How are you this evening, sir?
Oh, doing great.
Currently rolling around in the 13th position there out of about 38 cars. So that's a good spot to be at the start of the race because all that stuff happened.
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep it up front here and stay out of trouble.
It's a good plan. We've got I got some stats up here on the screen. You're currently rolling 5th overall in the point standing, 786 points with 3 top 10 finishes and an average finish of 12th with 6 starts, this being start number 7. So you're in a good spot. You're sitting dead center in the middle of that qualifying pack for the playoffs. So your schedule allows you to be here the next 4 races?
I hope to. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to qualify up front and run up front and just try to stay out of trouble. And I've been able to get a good finish.
That's the thing, yeah. Consistency is good, and then being able to show up and keep it out of trouble. But even last week, according to the stats, like Pack started in 34th and ended up getting 4th place overall in the finish, and avoided a couple of wrecks and got a little banged up a little bit, but came out of it with a 4th place finish. So I think the moral of the story is, as long as the car's running, you might as well try to drive it to the end.
Yeah, I've been really lucky, man. I really have. I've been fortunate to be able to drive through a wreck and just been lucky.
That's probably half the thing. Half of it's luck, and then the other half is skill. So it's a fine line, but you need a little bit of both.
Well, I'm just having a big time. Just got back into this here recently, and I'm just having a big time, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I loved it. I was reminded in the YouTube chat too of Benjamin Snyder over there at Maverick Racing League. Today is the 20th anniversary of this game.
Ain't that something?
Yeah. So happy birthday, NASCAR Racing 2003 season, and good luck out there, man. We'll hopefully see you keep that thing clean and have a good race in with the way the points are looking. You're definitely in an awesome spot on the way to the playoffs.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you. Larry Windham in the 09 Black Hawk Down Delta Force car. Leary and his boys out here. I think he's in cahoots with Keith Bynum and Mike Mangialardi. That game there, Delta Force, that's another game that's like 20 years old and still has a big community behind it as well. Somebody's beating the door down. Grant Wesley in the 88. Good evening.
Yes, sir. How's it going, boys?
Oh, not bad, not bad. Up front again, as always.
Not as always. I wasn't up front last week.
No, you weren't. But, yeah, it's good to see you back out here again, man.
Yeah, just glad to be here, man. It's a full moon on a Saturday night. No place I'd rather be.
That's it. I was just saying to Larry there in the last little chit-chat I was having that it's the 20th anniversary today of NASCAR Racing 2003.
Yeah,
So-
that's insane to think about. This game's been around for 20 years, and it still is what it is. You know, it's one of the greatest things out there.
Did you end up getting it brand new? Because a lot of these guys raced this thing weren't even born when the game was released in 2003, but I was 23, so I bought it brand new.
I bought it brand new, and I raced online for like a year, but then I didn't get back into it until like 5 years ago.
That's about the same with me. I raced when the Sierra servers were up, and then I did a lot of AI racing. You put it away for a couple of years, bring it back, put it away, and then I noticed that this was still happening, and I was all about it because it's probably my favorite game ever, and as far as I'm concerned, the best NASCAR game ever made.
Yeah, I ran onlinerracing.com, had a league that I was in, and there's a lot of super speedway stuff back then. But yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but thanks for reminiscing with me. Yeah, get a guy who's old enough to be alive when this game was actually released. But it's awesome, though, that everybody's playing it. You know, all these new guys finding this thing and look what they're doing to it. You know, all the modifications and the artwork and everything's just great. But I guess we're coming to green. I noticed now the pace car lights are off, so you got to focus, and I'll let you go, and good luck.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Grant Wesley used to running up front. Coming over from Rolling Thunder Gaming, I think is his main place to hang out. Bob Simon there to his left. A lot of familiar faces in the front row there. Restarting this thing at the beginning of lap number... Well, the end of lap number 5 or the beginning of lap number 6. However you want to say it. Here we go again. This is the real start this time. A little bit of a mishap there off the initial wave of the green to start the race. These guys will get it sorted out. After a couple laps, get some heat in the tires. Everybody left. Helicopter view of Jeffrey Elliott in the number 56 Mountain Dew car. Gary Mingus to his right. Gary Mingus driving that kind of like that. It's chopped up in 4s there. All the 4 different very popular Dale Earnhardt Sr. themes on that car. Gary painted that from referencing a photo that Jeff took. Ray Hulick Jr., number 81. Coming over here racing at Talladega Nights. Oh my. We have a parking lot on the back straight. We appear to have some gremlins out there on the virtual Talladega Super Speedway this evening as I started talking about the 81. of Ray Hewlett Jr. coming over from Afterburner to race here. Everybody went around in circles. So let's load up a replay for you and see what happened. Sometimes there's little bits of damage or there's big damage. I didn't see the cars up in the air, so.
Going home.
Ray, how are you doing this evening, man?
I'm doing
TV.
Good.
I was just focusing on you here.
Thanks.
And then everybody was started wrecking. So that wasn't very nice of me. It's like the Tarnation TV jinx. Yeah, it was all my fault. I apologize. How's the car looking?
I don't know yet. For the Discovery Channel car, it looks nice.
Yep, the car itself is amazing. I'm just looking at you right now on the replay. A little help from behind there, pushed.
Yeah, I think it's just 40 cars checkup.
Yeah. Yeah, the damage is probably a little bit of side damage. I guess, yeah, you never do know. Sometimes it's very, very random.
Yeah, usually, I run my own league, and I very rarely make it out to other people's leagues.
Right, yeah, because you're in from Afterburner, correct?
Yeah, me, Joe, my brother, Doug, Hemi sometimes runs over there.
Yeah, Hemi's another one who's just recently, I've noticed over here as well. So that's cool that all the leagues can kind of come together and, just come out and race. It must be nice for you to come to a different league and race because...
And not do anything?
That's the thing. You don't have to be an admin. You don't have to try to drive with one hand clearing flags.
You know what? Can I cut in real quick?
No.
Great, good to see you out here. I just want to promote, we're going to be teaming up with Afterburner on Monday nights, getting a little 12-week season going on over there. We're going to bring our drivers over there to Ray, let him do all the work so I can come out to drive. And so, Ray, I want to say thanks to that, and we'll get that going in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. In cahoots with everybody involved, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We've not had a good start here with this race yet. Hopefully we'll get one going here soon. But can't give up, man. It's Talladega. So I'm going to let you all finish up your interview. I just want to say, throw that plug in for Afterburner there and us getting together. That's awesome.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, did you want any shout outs or anything there, Ray, before we send you back out or into the driver room?
Let me see. Shout out to my wife, my kid, and my dog.
That's perfect. There it is. Thanks a lot for coming down. Yeah, that's all that matters. Have a good race, man. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Doug Hewlett Jr. in the 81 Discovery Channel Chevrolet Camaro. Chris Elliott.
Hello, Mr. Donlin.
Hey now. Number 9. Chris Elliott in the number 9. Oh, it's a Doritos car.
Most certainly.
How's things looking? Did you get involved in that accident at all?
We've been really stressing the guys how to try to get through these wrecks. Actually, number one and foremost is don't plow into people that check up for the wrecks. And I was able to get through that one pretty darn good. Didn't touch nobody. It was tricky, but I made it through.
The wife right now is giving me cheesies.
I hear something back there. She's doing something.
She's giving me cheesies, and I'm paid to broadcast and use my voice, so there's no way I can eat these. But I'm going to do it anyway.
Well, make sure you save Jeff and I a couple.
That's it. Thanks, Shelley.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Shelley.
Exactly. Well, now we can start this interview for real because the lights just went off on the pace car. So, yeah, the number 9 Doritos car, and I am eating Hawkins cheesies. So that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, that's not made by Frito-Lay, I don't believe.
No, it's not. These are local to a city, just basically the greatest cheesies on planet Earth.
Well, I guess the cheese is good up that way.
I guess so. There's something in the water. But currently scoring you in 21st position, so you're going to stay back there and kind of watch everything happen in front of you?
Yeah, there's a long way to go. I mean, you've already had a couple early cautions. It's still way early, so I'm just going to try to avoid the wrecks, not worry about where my position is until, maybe 20 to go, 15 to go, something like that.
Right on. Yeah, 57 laps on the clock, and looks like everybody's pit. Oh, not everybody. Some guys have opted to stay out, but that's probably just part of that strategy, staying up front. But do you ever take advantage of that, like just skip pitting and try to run a fuel mileage race?
You know, I always think about it. It all depends on, you know, how many laps are left, how many laps are going to be left after, you know, say a said pit stop, you know, just to take maybe less fuel or what. But that's a decision you really don't make till sometimes the last second, you know. It all depends on what's going on.
Right, like a little later on in the race and all that kind of stuff. Oh,
exactly.
I got a beverage coming in here now. Thanks to wash the cheesies down.
Yeah, we need that for sure.
Chris Elliott and Jeffrey Elliott and me and my wife Shelley, we're all hanging out here right now on this caution process.
I've actually got a bag of nacho cheese Doritos here and a Pepsi, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, but you're not
hyped. Cut in real quick there, Chris. I'm glad you made it out here tonight, man. And not been a good start here. We're going to get this thing going hopefully soon, get some ring laps. And I just want to give a shout out to my father. I know he watches these things after I get him hooked up. So hi, Dad. We love you. We miss you. And, man, we're doing this for you, buddy. So
awesome.
20 years and this game's been around. It's going green, guys. So we got to get back up there. But the Elliots need to get back up there and do their job. So, Blaine, thanks a lot, man. I'll let you finish up with Chris.
Cool. Yeah, I forgot about that, Chris. Yeah, you didn't make it out last week. What happened there?
I just need a little R&R. I had some things going on with the family, and I needed to take care of a few things, but everything's cool now.
Awesome. Good to hear, man. All right, well, we'll let you get back to it, and good luck this evening. We'll be watching.
Thanks, Blaine. Hopefully we can get you some green flag laps in for you and everybody watching. Thanks a lot.
I got faith. Thanks, Chris. And thank you, Jeff. And thank you, Shelley, for the beverage. That's why I have a cough button. So I can push the cough button and eat my Cheetos. They're not Cheetos, they're cheesies. We will be starting lap number 12. Like Jeff mentioned there, hopefully we get some green flag racing going here. There's Nate in the 079 Van Halen car. Last week, qualified in 6th position. But unfortunately, when the cars were gridding up, I do believe he had a system malfunction and his game crashed. We were wondering why there was a gap in row 3. I went back in the replay at the end of the race and found out that it was in fact Nate. So that was unfortunate because it was a big field last week. There was, I think it was 40 or 41 drivers, much the same as it is right now, 38 cars. Let's ride in the cockpit of Nate, right in the middle of the pack, running 18th. So far, so good. Everybody lining up 2 by 2. Or 1 by 1, or however you say that. 2 lines. A couple new faces out here this evening. We got Ken Huntsbury showing up again. He was here last week or two. It's known as KD. We also have who was the other one? Joe Murabito in the number... Is he driving the 20 car? His number's 20 on TeamSpeak, but I can't see him in the racing. No, 662. So he's driving a spare car. Let's see where he is. 662. That's something. That's one of the spare cars I created. A couple of quickies just in case guys didn't have a car. They could jump into a number that nobody uses. So welcome to the race, Joe Morabito. It's the 662 car. Some of the spare stuff. You can see that. Oh, I got the 662, the 660, and the 661. All the spare cars are being used this evening. I only made 3 of them. Outlaw's driving the 61, and whoa! Oh no, they saved it, and then a couple of guys went around. The green might stay out on that because that happened off the track, off the line. I'm gonna back that up a bit. Everything got wadded up back there, and the guys did a really good job of just in replay mode here now. Barrel pushing up, squeezing to the wall. Have to go into helicopter mode here to see it. Everybody fans out. Oh, and a little bit of an overcorrection there. Those 2 cars, who's that? That's Michael Moore and Randy Claflin. Because that spin happened off the racing surface and nobody was behind those cars, the green flag will stay out. Let's go through the field here. Let's go on. Where are we going to go here? I need that far chase. Michael Moore in the 740. In the 45, Tom Dixon. Randy Claflin in the 20. Joe Morabito in the 662. Unfortunately, went all by himself back there. The pack behind Joe will catch him now. The 82 of Craig Hadley. Robert Breedlove in the 931. Say that 3 times fast. Ray Hewitt Jr. in the 81. Gary Heiser in the number 3. Brian Lovell in the 043. Outlaw in the 661. Ken Huntsbury in the 660. The 660. Well, that's... It always messes me up how I spell numbers on the hoods of these cars. The 660 and the 661. I'm a wordsmith. There's Alex Mollison on his pack in the 48. Gary Mingus in the 12. Down level in the 338. Grant Wesley in the 88. Nate Balser in the 079. Now 3 wide running right here. The 43 of Bob Dixon. The 7 of Bobby Farrell. Wayne Pribnow in the 14. I can't get on Keith Bynum. There he is. In the 63. They're all so tight together here. Bill Henry Evans in the 33. Mike Mangialardi there in the number 029. Oh, there's Mark Paglia. I missed you, Mark. In the 29 car. Kelly Causey in the 00. Chris Elliott in the 9. Pat McCarski in the 0. Jeffrey Elliott in the 56. Larry Wyndham in the 09. Danny Carroll in the 41. Randy Waugh in the 21. Doug Hewitt in the 23. Brad Otto in the 31. Greg Lovell in the 88. Or the 088, sorry. The 88 will be Wesley. 31, Brad Otto. Seminara in the 712. The 711 of John Godfrey. And we are back around. So this pack is at the back currently. Currently 15 seconds behind the leader at the last time by the stripe. Everybody else seems to be back in that main pack. So this main pack, unfortunately, will pull away from those 3 cars in the back, but 3 cars are faster than 1. So that's good for those guys, especially under pit strategy. They might want to stick together. Wonder why Outlaw's not in his usual 68. Currently locked onto the 0 car there of Pat McCarskey. Looking to move to the high line for a push from Kelly Buckshot Kazi in the 0-0. That 0-0, that yellow car behind Pat, he was running in a 500-mile Daytona race presented by ISRL. Fortunately, Kelly got caught in a pretty serious accident near the start of that race. Was forced to retire early. Otherwise, he would not be here right now. That 500-mile race being broadcast by Top Dragster. Andrew, who assisted me on a broadcast here at Tarnation TV a few weeks ago, he's over there broadcasting that 500-mile monstrosity with Seth Cole from Flat Out Racing Network. That is a long, gosh darn race. Big move by Bynum to the top line. Nobody wants to hook up with Lovell in the center there in the 088, that Texaco car, the black and white one. He's slowly moving back. That's currently showing him in 7th. But that's going to change. 9th, he is moving down. Still focused on Pat. It gives us a good angle of pretty much the whole field. We got spin going on back there. That'll be a yellow. All these guys will basically come around, roll out of the throttle, and wait for the pace car. Pace car is coming out there. We'll hit the load button. Nobody wants to watch me try to find this. And I will try to find this. Looks like Jeffrey got turned by the 33 of Bill Evans. Whoops, wrong way. Helicopter view is the best for this kind of stuff. You know what? The 9 car, let's see if we get on the 9. Chris Elliott will be able to look out the side of his car here at that. Yeah, unfortunately for Jeffrey, 7-Eleven of John Godfrey. Good evening, sir.
Hello, Mr. Blaine. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. How's things looking up front there?
Well, it's pretty exciting from where I'm sitting. I hope it is for you, too.
It is fairly exciting, yes. We got some gremlins in the system, I think. Usually these, there's not this many yellows this early in the race. But from where you're sitting, at least you're watching it all happen in your review mirror.
Yeah, it's not often that I lead the field behind the pit road, but it feels pretty good, I got to tell you.
Yeah. So far, you haven't pit yet. Is that correct?
I'm in my pit stall right now.
You're in right now. But before that, you guys, with the other 2 yellows, you just opt for track position. And just try to stay out there, lead some laps, and just stay out of the fray. Is that the strategy behind that?
Yeah, it just kind of developed as the race did. And it felt like the right thing to do the way things were going. Glad I did.
Yeah, try to stay out in front early yellows. That happened last week too. There was yellows that couple early yellows set the pace for that, because then later on in the race we had a really long green flag run that pit strategy of staying out and maybe being 7 laps short was actually benefiting some drivers when yellows started to fall late in the race. So anything can happen.
Yeah, I like my chances a whole lot better up here at the front. I think I'm going to do everything in my power to stay there, Blaine.
Right on, man. I'll let you get back to it, and good luck as always. We'll be watching the 7-Eleven. Who painted that car? That thing's hot.
It was actually one I found, but we just put some new numbers on it. So.
Oh, right
Thank
on.
you.
Okay. Right on, man. Yeah, we'll let you get back to her. Thanks.
Any shout outs, John?
Just want to thank the boys back at the shop for giving me a fast hot rod.
All right, buddy. We'll bring you back up. Thanks for coming down.
John Godfrey in the 7-Eleven knows his way around this track as well. If you are new to this game and you do get in with some of these leagues, I recommend you obviously run some test laps first, get the hang of it, but he's definitely got to follow. It's a busy place today. Brian Lovell in the house.
Hey, what's happening there, buddy?
Oh, not much. How's the car looking, man? Because you were tangled in a couple of those little scrums.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy out here tonight.
Any major damage on that thing, or is it just kind of the usual cosmetic stuff? It looks good from where I'm looking at it.
I had a little bit of side impact damage, but they fixed that, so I should be okay.
Right on, right on. What was that pit stop? Just a quick splash, eh?
Yeah, 10-4.
Yeah, right on. Any crazy strategies today? Like we always ask the same questions, but it always is nice to hear. Some people don't like to share their strategies.
Hey, is anybody shout out?
Yep, let her rip, man.
Yeah, shout out to Wolfpack Racing and my brother Greg and my cousin Danny and also Denny Carroll. We're local guys here in Big Stone Gap. So yeah, shout out to them.
Right on. Yeah, the whole family comes out and races here every single week, so it's always awesome to see you guys are consistently here and consistently do very, very well. So we're pulling for you.
Yeah, I started out with NASCAR 97. Yeah, I hooked my brother and cousin and Denny Carroll and my nephew and all up with this game back years and years ago.
Yeah, we were saying there before, Ben in the chat on YouTube reminded me that today is the day that NASCAR 2003 turns 20 years old. So, and here we are still playing it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see it. You know, the 20-year anniversary and the game's still going strong. So that's awesome to see.
Yeah, I think it got, I hate to say it, but I think COVID-19 actually made it stronger because people were all trapped in their houses and everybody bought steering wheels and either got on iRacing and went, this is kind of expensive, but there's this old game back here that's free, and I think it brought a lot more traffic into the game because there's so many leagues. It's wild.
Yeah, the iRacing stuff, I mean, I'm not going to down it or anything, but it's so expensive and a lot of people can't afford it. So, you know,
Yeah.
they come over here to this platform, which is the original platform. But I love it. There's nothing any better than this.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I tried iRacing for a little while. I got like a package deal or something was on sale 5 months for whatever it was. And it's really good. And their NASCAR section feels exactly like this. But like you said, when you have to start buying cars and they only give you like 15 free tracks and they're about 10 to 15 bucks a piece, it can get pretty steep if you want to start racing in some serious leagues. So back we come to NASCAR 2003,
All
and here
right,
we
boys.
are.
Don't mean to cut you off, Blaine, and
Yeah,
we gotta get back to
expensive.
racing. Green flag's about to hit us.
Yeah,
Any
green
shout outs
flag.
real quick, Brian? Want to
Thank
say
you,
hello?
Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you do, buddy.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks for coming out. This is awesome to watch.
10-4, buddy.
If you got any shout-outs you want to go, let her rip.
Yeah, shout out to my family racing here and Jeff and Chris for putting this on. And go Wolfpack.
Right on. Thanks, man. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to ride in car with Brian as he gears up. And I'll mute my microphone so I can eat some cheesies. I think I'm digging that new sound pack. Fairly cool. Reminding everybody that the Shake and Bake series resumes next Saturday, February the 11th, for race number 8 of 10. And then those last 2 races, you can see there, stage 1 with the top 10 drivers, and the championship final with the final 5. Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at Tarnation TV. Links in the prescription box below. So read the prescription, prescribe, and click the thumb bell if you're digging what you're seeing. More information about Talladega Nights is also down there. The first link in the description is to Talladega Nights website, where they run multiple leagues a week. And the stuff's not cheap to run either, so we'd like to thank the drivers here tonight. A bunch of them have donated. There's a donation button on the Talladega Nights website. If you do want to send a couple of bucks. Jeffrey and Chris and Bob and Ken and all the guys in the Tarnation TV tower and in the Talladega Nights tower appreciate your support. So thanks to the drivers who donate stuff, specifically money. It definitely helps fuel the fire here. And it's a lot of fun doing it. Grant Wesley currently in the first position, being pushed by Mark Paglia in the 28 car. Mark Paglia was involved in one of the initial accidents in this race. We won't need to ask him how the car is running, because it looks to me like it's running fine. Currently in second, running that middle line, top line up there being formed, the 21 car of Randy Waugh, being pushed by John Godfrey in the 711 and the 00 of Kelly Cossey. Trying to get a run on these guys. If they can keep it tight, they will be able to catch them. Current drivers who have been forced to retire. Fortunately, Ken Roberts again this week in the 55 has retired. The 662 of Joe Morabito has also retired. Outlaw and Bill Evans are also among that list. So Bill Evans, Outlaw, Joe, and Ken. Unfortunately, all had to leave the race this evening, probably due to damage. There was a couple pretty good accidents there It's hard to see all the cars that are involved. Dan Level is way off pace. The 388 is 30 seconds behind of Dan Level. We're going to stay focused on Dan because he's got the head pack coming. He's going to stay high on the wall to avoid any to avoid messing up the leaders. But he is way off the pace. He is being shown here right now running at 159 miles an hour. Average pace by yourself around this track is about 179 miles an hour, so he seems to be... He latched onto the draft a little bit right there. But I believe he's about 15 mile an hour off pace. Gary Heiser and Robert Breedlove doing a little racing in the back here. Opting to switch spots. Back to the front of the pack. Nothing has changed. Not very much anyway. It's still Grant Wesley in first. Mark Paglia in 28th. The 712 of Bob Seminara in third. And Greg Level in the 088. Greg Level a little bit back there in the broadcast. You notice he was in the middle and nobody was helping him. But now he's got cars behind him and cars in front of him, so he's doing just fine. The whole family event with the Levels. Where's the 029? Nope, that's not the 029. 029. I painted that car, so I'm just curious if it's scratched. Looks like it's in good condition. Currently showing Mike Mangialardi running in the 20th spot. Out of about 38 drivers, that'll be almost just below mid-pack. Running back there with Alex Moe. And with the 20 car in front of him, Randy Claflin. Brad Otto in the 31. Paint job designed by Gary Minkus, the driver of the 12 car. That there is one of the ones we use in the team events, the white 31 Dodge. Brad Otto at the line last time by was 24th. We got some smoke in front. He dodges that. And again, the Tarnation TV jinx, the 29 car was clean. The 29 car is no longer clean. We'll see the point here of impact. Looks like Randy Waugh got sideways there trying to find a spot back in the high line there. Looks like we got Nate.
10-4, got a copy.
Good evening, sir.
Hey, good evening.
How's the car looking out there, man?
It seems okay. I'm not sure what happened in that last bit there, but you got a couple of scrapes earlier. I don't sense any damage from that, but whatever happened just now, I'm not 100% sure. Just a little wiggle in the back there.
Yeah, it looked like Randy was trying to get back on that high side, and he just it looks like he overcorrected something and just kind of got loose. But I was going to ask you, too, about last week, qualified in 6th but didn't make the grid.
Yeah, I had some mechanical issues. And every time I tried to get into it, we were taking off on the grid. I just had some functions that just didn't come together there and wasn't able to get back into the race.
Oh, so it was like a local controller problem.
Yeah, it was. It was just a misfortune, and I figured we'd look into it, take care of it, and come back and try again next week. So here we are.
Yeah, let's just checking out the championship overall standings. It looks like you're sitting in 22nd, so not too bad. And that actually puts you, let me see, only 156 points away from the line of 10th spot. So with another 4 races to go, you could definitely still qualify for the championship. Are you able to make it for these next few races?
Yeah, and I'll be here, and I'll definitely give it my best. Had some bad luck on the way. It was more than wonderful winning once here, and we're going to try to do it again and stay in the top 10.
Right on, man. Any shout-outs you got to toss down before we send you back to the driver's room?
Sure. My sister, parents-in-law, my wife, and daughters all watching, and I appreciate you guys for your support. And I thank you guys for everything you do in the tower and Talladega Nights. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Hey, Jeff, you there? You can say something if you need. Oh. Jeffrey's running my TeamSpeak, so he's busy doing all kinds of stuff. He's trying to drive a car. But yeah, unfortunately for Nate last week, looks like he's headed down to the pits here now. We'll ride in the cockpit. Take a little what a pit stop feels like. Dan Lovell, Tarnation TV, what can we do for you?
Hello.
Good evening. How's the car running?
Horrible.
Is it? Yeah. There's been some weird gremlins on the track this evening. There's been some very strange looking cautions and issues with certain cars. Have you been able to avoid most of that stuff? It's hard for me to keep track.
Up until that last one.
Oh yeah, the last one was what did it, eh?
Yeah, I was doing fine. I avoided the first 2, but that last one, tore me up pretty good. I can't get but about 160 on the track by myself.
Okay, yeah. So I was trying to remember who we were following around, and it was you by yourself with 160. So you can't even read your roof numbers or anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, it rubbed them off.
Yeah. I saw the lead pack was creeping up on you, obviously pretty quick. That you were in the draft about 170, but the draft leaves you pretty quick when you're not able to keep pace.
Do I need to park if I can't keep pace, or?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's a rule. You're able to stay out of the way. I would just run the thing until it explodes. Like I was saying,
I definitely will get up to the wall and get out of the way.
Yeah, because I remember even last week, Alex started in 38th position, but ended up with a 4th place finish with damage. I believe, I can't remember. But yeah, that's always my strategy too. Even if the car does take some bumps, just get out there and run it to the end. Because anybody who retires in front of you.
I don't give up. I'll keep myself in competition. I'm in the top 10 in points, so every position I can pick off throughout the race, keeps me possibly in the top 10.
That's the thing. Some guys, they'll crash and then they'll just instantly just quit. I'm thinking if you're in it for the long haul and you're in it for the points, doing what you're doing is going to gain you precious points because every 5-10 points counts. And if a couple more guys in front of you retire, it's just free points.
Yeah, I don't ever give up. Until this thing's not running, I'm gonna keep going.
Right on, man. Sounds like a good plan. We can't read the roof number, but we can definitely see the Eagles logo on the front hood, so we know where to find you.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said. Those guys were whispering to me.
Oh, okay. I just said we can't read the numbers on the roof because they're all washed off, but we can definitely see the eagle on the hood, so we're going to be able to find you that way.
Yeah, the Eagle tells you who it is because I'm the only Eagles car out here. So.
Yep, the only one I've ever seen. And if anybody else takes that sponsor, then I'm going to get confused, I can promise.
Hopefully they won't.
All right, guys, we're getting ready to go green. Any shout-outs real quick, Dan?
Yeah, just like to shout out to my wife, my kids, and, just the rest of my family that's racing with me here. Appreciate you guys, all of you are part of it, and all you guys out here in the community that race with us. Appreciate all you guys. Wouldn't have such good racing, wouldn't be as much fun as if we didn't have so many people out here participating in this. So appreciate everyone.
Amen. Yes, sir. All right, we're going to turn 4. We need to get back up there. So, Lane, we'll talk to you soon, bud. Thanks.
Right on. Thanks, Dan. Good luck.
I'm out on the bottom, guys.
And away they go back to the track. Down level into 388. Philadelphia Eagles machine. Philadelphia. Did I say Philadelphia? Philadelphia Eagles machine. It's a little bit banged up, and he can only keep it at about 170, which puts him about 10 to 15 mile per hour off the pace. But like you said, man, as long as the thing's running, you might as well drive it over the checkered flag because you need those points. So far he's in 32nd position in front of Bill Evans, Outlaw, Joe, and Ken, who were forced to retire. Anybody else who retires within a couple laps will take their spots too, so every little bit counts. We will go up the front here, and we will focus on... Who are we going to focus on? Let's focus on the 0-0. I'm just going to find him. There it is. The 0-0, Kelly Buckshot Cossey. Following Keith Bynum. Being pushed by Farrell. Slides down in front of Jeffrey Elliott in the 56 to tuck himself in behind the 7-11 of John Godfrey. The 0-0 car is always hard to find on my list because it's 2 zeros, and I always think it's going to be at the bottom right next to Pat because Pat runs a 0. But they're not because it's 2 digits. It's up with the 2-digit cars. Anyway, nobody cares about that stuff. We'd like to thank at the start of the broadcast and all the music you hear in the broadcast. Initial little launch music we use is from my friend Jonathan Barry. You can find him on Twitter at JohnOBRC. Instagram at Woven Warrior 28. He created that little loop. Mr. Jonathan is also in the band known as THORN, which I am using their music for the broadcast this evening. So more of that to come after the race is over. Heavy metal in the doom metal genre, super slow. I don't play Godthorn much on here because NASCAR is kind of a fast sport, but it is a heavy sport, so let's just get as heavy as possible. Thanks to Godthorn. You can check them out at reverbnation.com/Godthorn. Oh, wiggling around back there, Otto. Everybody's... Oh, maybe not. We got smoke back there. We got cars. Wayne Pribnow is belching black smoke and was also forced to retire. So 2 cars just retired right there. It looked like it was Pribnow and it was Tom. Okay, currently in... Wow. Okay, something major happened back there. We're going to rewind that. Bob, looks like both Dixons. Sorry for the jittery camera here. I'm just trying to find these cars. Bob and Tom Dixon. And looks like Pribnow as well. Gaining on the 81. Just a little bit of a stack up there. Bob Dixon and Tom Dixon, all three of those cars, not looking good. Wayne Pribnow on the 14 and the 45 of Tom Dixon will retire after that. Yeah, Wayne's got definite engine damage. That's why the smoke is black. And as always, when accidents happen, you know me, I love to get inside the cockpits.
Knock, knock.
I'm always around. What's going on, Mr.
I know you're
Buckshot?
right. I brought you a special guest. We flew up here quickly. Mr. Buckshot himself.
How's it going, guys?
The one and only.
Yeah, you're the one and only, aren't you? You up there by yourself again?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
Good deal.
So here's a question for you. You were running in the ISRL 500 over there at Daytona.
Yes, sir.
So you may not have been here this evening if I didn't see what happened to you, but I saw you were a bunch of laps out of that race. Were you forced to retire early in that thing?
Well, what happened was I qualified second and then got to the lead, and coming out of the 2, got spun down to the inside and ended up getting back on the track and went all the way back to the back to 34th, and then worked my way back up to the lead, and under caution, disconnected by the internet, I guess.
Oh, no. That's
Yep.
crazy. You must have a comfortable chair to be able to sit there for an actual legitimate 500-mile race at Daytona.
Well, I'm kind of glad that I got disconnected because it was, I don't know that I was going to make it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a long race. Like I've done some 100% long races in this game over the years, like Bristol. I did that. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, I was looking and we were like at 30 laps, and I said, well, we're a quarter of the way through, and I said, wait a minute, no, a quarter of the way through would be 50 laps. We weren't. I said, oh Lord.
Yeah, it's you risk your legs falling asleep, not being able to, because it's funny because I'm listening to the broadcasters and they're able to get up and go to the bathroom and stuff because there's 2 of them, Seth and Andrew, and they took an intermission around like 100 laps, and I'm like, that's a good idea, but I'm thinking the drivers still have to sit there and race,
right? Right.
That could end up being a 4-hour event.
Yeah, it was. I know. I listened to a little bit after I got out, and the guy was saying, oh, we're only at this point? I was really prepared for this, but I'm not sure I am.
No, that is something else, especially at Daytona, because that's a lot of concentration. I mean, much like Talladega, mentally fatiguing as well as physically, having to sit there and drive the thing.
Yeah, that track and that setup they had, you really have to you got to steer back a lot. It's really a tough track to drive, and it's intense, there's no doubt.
Yeah, what version of the track were they running?
That 22 or whatever. The new
it's
one.
An updated one, yeah.
And I wasn't quite used to it, but it took some getting used to because you had to counter steer a couple times out of 2 and out of 4, and really take some timing on it,
Yeah, that can cause problems. At least with Talladega, it's a little bit wider, so there's a little bit more room for, finesse and, just a little bit more wiggle room is always nice.
Yeah, and those cars are a little bigger, I think, a little wider, it looked like to me.
They look like little box cars. But anyways, I am sitting right next to Mr. Kazi, Buckshot himself. What is our strategy, bud? I guess we've got about 11 to go here, so where are you going to go? Because I want to follow you.
Well, if I know you well, I think we'll try to get to the high line. Isn't that right there, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I got Godfrey in front of me, so I'm kind of working with him. Hopefully, but I got a strong guy next to me called Greg Lavelle, our shake and bake champion. So I don't think he's going to give me any room up there to slide up, but we'll see what happens here.
Well, I know we'll go 3 wide. I know because that's your nickname, isn't it? 3 wide there, Jeffrey.
Yeah, 4 wide, baby. Let's do this.
That's it. I've been known to do that. I'm like, you know what? 4 wide, whatever. These guys can handle it. We did 4 wide one time out here for almost 2 laps, I think. That was pretty wild. This track can do it.
No doubt.
Anyway, man, you got any shout-outs you want to toss around? Because those lights are probably going to go off, so...
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to my wife and my kids and my mom who's watching, and a shout out to Joey Santamont, my guy who has ALS that is battling that, and I went and saw him today, and he's struggling, but he's really a fighter.
Yeah, it's a tough one. That ALS, I knew a guy, I worked with a guy. I think we've had this conversation, and it's not a fun one, but we did a bunch of benefits for him, and it's just one of those diseases. We'll figure it out eventually, how to cure that thing.
Right. I'm hoping I can put together this special race for him. We can do something to raise a little money for the cause, cure for it.
That'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, man, thanks for talking to us yet again, and good luck the rest of the race. We're getting down to the last 10.
All right, thank you. I'm going to tighten them up.
Yeah. Under 10 to go here at Talladega Nights. You guessed it. Race back to the line, so I will not cut away if an accident does happen. This game is so old that it's race back to the line all the time. But most of the leagues will, once the yellow comes out, they will stop racing each other. That way, it doesn't just cause more accidents, but when it gets within 10 to the checkered, if a yellow comes out, they will race back to get the checkered. So you see your front row there is Grant Wesley and Bob Seminara. Row number 2, Mark Paglia, Doug Hillick. Row number 3 is Keith Bynum and Bobby Farrell. Row number 4, John Godfrey, Kelly Kazi. And row number 5, Jeffrey Elliott and Greg Lavelle. We'll focus on, let's drop back a few rows. Bobby Farrell in the 7, the STP car there. Followed by the one and only Buckshot in the 00. ALS. And not a fun one, but lots of money gets donated to research and whatnot, so they can hopefully figure out that disease. Green flag in the air. Lap 47 has begun. So here at Tarnation, you see Jeffrey slide up to that high line. He was on the inside line. Jeffrey found a gap there in front of Randy Claflin. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 we go. After that last yellow, everybody should be good to go on fuel. As I said before, Tom Dixon, Wayne Pribnow, and Bob Dixon have been forced to retire after that last caution. And that will put down level now in the 29th place. Even though he's way off the pace, he's going for those points. Every point matters. Middle line is forming. Bynum is trying to get back in that line, but they aren't going to let him. Greg Level will creep up to him. Everybody's trying to find lines. Nate's back there driving all over the place. You are allowed to use the whole track. The yellow line at the bottom, you're not allowed to pass below that yellow line, but the track is there if you need to use it. We saw Nate there, the back. He may have been squeezed and forced to just kind of duck out of line. We're starting the third line. Yellow flag is out. And drivers are slowing down. Unfortunately, another yellow flag. We'll find out what happened back here. So currently it looks like Dan's engine blows up, but there's nobody behind him. So that didn't bring out the yellow. There's the yellow right there. So I don't know why the yellow came out. Maybe that was the reason. Maybe the blown engine, because that's the only thing that I can see on the track that would cause a yellow, because everybody is right there. That, to me, that's kind of weird. That's a shame, because Dan, being off pace and running in the back, to stay away from everybody and just collect those points. For the engine to blow up, that makes sense, because it's running under power. He's currently on pit road right there. They probably won't be able to fix it. He's probably getting towed back right now. When you click to get your car towed, it'll drop you in the pits, and it'll do a timer. You don't actually get to watch any of the actual tow trucks or anything, but that's strange, because the engine blew, no yellow. He got down, parked it underneath the yellow line, off the racing line, and then the yellow came out, and then there's no other cause for yellow. So I'm really kind of curious why that happened. Talladega Nights Racing League inside NASCAR Racing 2003 season has a bunch of stuff going on every single week. On your screen on Tuesdays, you can see the Gearheads Dirt Series. That series is run by the number 27 car of Bob Sire, also known as Pumpkin. I race on Tuesdays, and that is a crazy style of racing. It's a lot of fun and a lot different from what I'm used to in this game. They've created dirt tracks. And it's just a whole pile of fun. We raced on some quarter-mile dirt track oval last week, and you're just driving loose, driving fast, and really fun. Mr. Gary Heiser, good evening, sir.
How's it going, brother?
Oh, just watching the race. There seems to be some gremlins out there today. You guys are on 6 yellow flags.
Yeah, it seems to be a little interesting out here. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble, brother.
So far, so good. How's the car looking?
Blaine, that was a warp up car's there, good. I don't have any damage right now, and I'm sitting 19th place, so I'm going to try to get this one to the front.
Nice. That's good. Keeping it clean. There's been a couple of really bad accidents. A few drivers were forced to retire early, so it's good to see you're still out there driving that thing. Plans coming to the end, just trying to keep a position, gain a couple. Any friends in front of you you're going to utilize?
I'm just going to try to use each and every person that I can to get as far up as I can. I'm going to go with the line that seems to be moving the best. If I've got to jump out and start a new one, I'll do what I got to do to try to get there.
That's awesome. The black number 3, that's an intimidating car, like we've said before. So hopefully keep her clean, but don't be afraid to use that front bumper, because that's always I could take a beat in that thing.
Absolutely, yeah. We're coming down to the wire within 10 to go, so yeah, I'm gonna give it all she's got. See what we can do here.
Right on, man. We'll be watching. If you got any shout-outs you want to throw down, let her rip.
Want to shout out to you. Want to shout out to the Elliots. Want to shout out to my wife for putting up with me. It's a beautiful life. God bless y'all.
Thank
Right
you,
on,
buddy.
man.
I'm gonna move us back up. Blaine, thanks a lot. I just wanted to get one more guy here besides the podium. So thanks a lot, man, and thanks for letting me slam as many drivers up here as possible tonight.
You have been slamming. Thanks, Gary. Good luck.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Who will Jeffrey find for me next time? Or this time? We're going to see what happens. Like I say, you can also, on Friday nights, we've got the Talladega Super Speedway hosting the Trucks, Fast and Furious Trucks series on Friday nights. And of course, you're watching the Shake and Bake series, the main event here at Talladega Nights on Saturdays. Because Saturdays is a day of the week that a lot of leagues kind of don't operate on. So most leagues are Monday to Friday. But there's so many leagues in this game. I mean, if you need a race, you'll definitely find one. Talladega Nights has a lot of this stuff going on. And there you go, on your screen right there. That's what they got to offer. Plus, in the other days of the week, too, there's testing sessions and fun stuff on Mondays. They do random tracks on Mondays, not for points or anything, but they'll just chuck, Texas Motor Speedway, throw a fictional track up there like Edgewater or something just to run some fun races. Current season points, just in case you forgot what they looked like. I see Ken Roberts there in 9th place in the current season points, but he had to retire again today, so that's unfortunate for him. He may actually fall out of that top 10. Stephen Branstetter in 4th is not here this evening. So his 4th place position, he'll be okay. But that's definitely going to hurt, getting a big 0. And Paglia is currently running in 2nd place and currently holding on to 1st place. In the championship series here. He's in a very, very good position right now as we come to lap number 53. Lap number 53 is about to begin. On our way to the end of this thing, race number 7. Paglia in the 28 being pushed by number 7, Bobby Farrell. He's got Wesley to his inside, as well as Doug Hulick. Big launch there of the 88 in control of that start. That looked a little bit like teamwork. I do believe that Paglia may have held up to let Wesley get in front. As that middle line is the favorite of a lot of drivers out here, and Wesley was able to launch off that start and get up to that up one lane to get in front of Mark. Doug Hulick being hung out to dry, trying to create that middle line or kind of... Yeah, there's a gap there too. Cars can come and go, but so far so good. Lap number 54 or 57. Really tight up there. They're pushing hard on that top line, trying to get that line moving. That's Bob Seminara in the 712, that white and red car. With Wesley to his left. Uh-oh. Oh, they're holding on to it. Holy moly. No way. That was an awesome save. Greg Lavelle got just door slammed. They are 3 wide down there, really, really tight, and that's going to end badly. And this might be for the win with Grant Wesley in front. He will come across that line first. First, second, and third. will be Grant, Mark, and Bob Seminara. Oh, that was crazy. Don't worry about sending anybody up, Jeff. I'll just take care of this replay. A couple of fun things happened. Just letting Jeff know there that he doesn't need to send anybody down, because we're going to definitely take a look at this. I got a couple things here. Because we got a little bit of a spin here. Oh, and that took out a lot of cars. That's too bad. But before this, there should have been an accident, but they kept it together right there. So you can see at the top of your screen, Wesley gets a little bit. Does he get pushed too hard by Mark? That's weird, because they're perfectly lined up. Greg and Keith. Greg keeps it straight after smashing that wall. The 41 of Denny Carroll doesn't get into Greg. Greg's sliding down the track, trying to hold on to that thing, losing speed. I'm just looking at that 41 car of how good of a job he did to not. Let's get a better camera angle of him, actually. That might be better. So that car goes from, okay, let's get on Greg. 198. So he drops 10 miles an hour. He goes down to from 198 down to 188. And somehow the 41 doesn't wreck him. Right there, he could bumper hook him. See here, it's 3 wide, but they're using 2 lanes to do it. And just enough of Kelly's door. Oh, no. That's what they call ARCA braking. Not using the brake pedal. Who's that? That was Ray Hulick Jr. Couldn't get it slowed down enough. Bad timing for that. Now, he was on the brakes, though. He dropped about 80 mile an hour, but still, it's just out of nowhere. Kelly slides down the track. What a mess. This might be a neat camera angle. We'll just park the camera right here on the front straightaway and watch the. Nobody comes through here in a straight line. Very unfortunate. All the drivers, I mean, that accident was nobody's fault. In my opinion, that accident was nobody's fault. It's just one of those things where an amazing save by everybody involved at the front of that thing. And let's get back live here. An amazing save by everybody involved off that initial little bit of a turn there from Wesley. Shoved everybody up into the wall. Everybody compensated for that, but then it got so tight. They were basically using 2 lanes to go 3 wide there to kind of save that and let everybody get sorted out. Because in Carroll's position of the 41 car, you don't want to just slam the brakes on because you've got 35 cars behind you. So you're trying to just kind of match that guy's speed and hope that he fixes it. And it was all good. and it just got too tight, nowhere to go. Oh, it looks like Grant Wesley is going to win the race. Under yellow, the checkers are up in the air right now. Howdy, Tarnation. Howdy, Top Dragster. That'd be Andrew. Wonder how that race went. A long broadcast there. I'm just reading the YouTube chat. We were talking about the Dirt Track series by Bob Sire. We did run Chili Bowl last week at the Dirt Track. Wilmot is next week on Tuesday if you're interested in that. Thanks, Bob, for running that. It's definitely a different series than I've ever run in this game, dirt tracking, short tracking. I like the short tracks. I've never done much dirt, though. And there it is. The checkered flag hangs from the tower there. The NASCAR official. As Grant Wesley gets some bumps and rubs. Congratulations to the 88 of Grant Wesley. First place. Second place, the 28 of Mark Paglia, and the 712 of Bob Seminara round out the podium. Well, 39 came in here, and at the end we had some more cars forced to retire. Gary, unfortunately. There's a way to start a burnout. Grant Wesley style. Thank you to Julian Craig for writing this song. I'm using it for the winner. This band is not on Spotify, so just a little jam band. One of my buddies who's in about 5 different bands decided to send me some rough cuts. There it is. Grant Wesley in the 88. Let's save up this replay here so we have something to do later on. Race number...
Race number 7. Jeffrey Elliott to the tower.
Hey now, what's up? Hey, you there?
I have brought Mr. Bob Dixon for the factoids if you have time.
Of course, we've all got time for the factoids. Take it away, Bob.
All right. The factoids of the night, the top 5 fastest laps. An honorable mention was Alex Moe. In 5th place was Gary Heiser. Gary did a 47.916 second lap. That's 199.850 mile per hour on lap 31. 4th was Pat McCarsky. Pat did a 47.814 second lap. That's 200.276 mile per hour on lap 34. 3rd was Craig Hagley. Craig did a 47.789 second lap. That's 200.381 mile per hour on lap 31. 2nd was Brad Otto. Brad did a 47.736 second lap. That's 200.604 mile per hour. Lap 30. And the fastest lap of the night goes to Jeffrey Elliott. Jeff did a 47.722 second lap. That's 200.663 mile per hour on lap 34.
Holy
and the
moly.
most laps led was Grant Wesley. Congratulations to Grant on his win. Grant did 30 laps. Bob Seminara 9, John Godfrey 7, Greg Lovell 4, Katie 55 2, Pribby 1, Brad Otto 1, and Jeffrey Elliott 1. That's your factoids of the night.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate the factoids. You are the I would say you are the factoids man of NASCAR 2003. So thanks so much for doing that for us, buddy.
Sure. Anytime.
All right. Well, we'll move you back up and we'll start. Let me go find that third place driver for you, Mr. Blaine.
Thank you. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, Blaine. Thank you for doing the televised event.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Third place driver on the way in here will be Bob Seminara, number 712. Good evening, Bob. How are you again?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
That's a good way to wrap up the evening with a third place finish on the podium there. Too bad it happened under yellow, but it seemed to be a little bit weird out there today with that many yellow flags. But tell us how that was coming to that basically that race to the yellow and the checker.
Yeah, it wasn't really what I was looking for. We had that run on the outside, and then looked like there was a hard bump draft in the middle lane, and that took a couple guys away from me on the top. I wasn't aggressive enough getting back to the middle there, so I got stuck up high without a lot of help. Just Keith, I think.
Yeah, and that crash was wild because those guys actually saved it, and then they just ran out of space down the bottom, and then all hell broke loose. But I guess that doesn't matter because you were in the right spot at the right time, watching it, and watching it happen behind you. So.
Yeah, I think I was in the top 5 all night, mainly the top 3. So just that racing back there with 10 to go, I got pushed back to 5th. That kind of got me out of the good positioning for the end. But we had a good run on the outside.
Yeah, it was definitely fun watching that. Like I said, congratulations again. Do you have any other shout-outs you need to throw down? I don't know if we've already had you on here once, but if you got any other stuff to say, we'll let you do it, and then we'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, thanks, Blaine. Thanks for putting us on, and Jeffrey and all the guys. It was fun to come out here. I'd like to thank Mobs Motors, and yeah, that's it. I had fun. Congrats, Grant.
Awesome. Thanks again, Bob. Have yourself a good evening.
Yeah, you too.
And Bob, thanks for coming out to Talladega Nights, man. It's been a year, 4 months we've been rolling with this, and to have you guys, Grant, Mark, yourself, Chuck McClures, all you guys from RTG, thanks for coming out and showing us how it's done. And we're trying to get everybody to do better. And you have caution-free laps and races, and you have races like this. It wasn't our best tonight, but there's a lot of different guys out here tonight. So thanks for hanging in there.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for putting it on, Jeffrey. I know you do a lot.
Thanks, brother. We're coming down to Florida soon, permanently. There you go.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. All right. Thank you there, Mr. Bob. Thanks for coming out tonight, buddy. Mr. Mark Pagula, where'd he go? Look him. Let's find him.
He's in the admins talking out work with Ken Roberts.
He is having a talk.
Yeah, you might want to jump in there and check before you nab him, just in case you get in trouble.
Have to get in there and get some jabs in myself. I'll be right back, sir. No action in the pits here. Let's find out.
Yeah, they're in the admin room having a chit chat. So, the race ended under yellow, so everything's all fine. But you can see from the stats on screen there, Grant Wesley dominating this race and winning it, leading 32 of the 57 laps this evening and taking away 185 points. Mark, how you doing, man?
Hey, Blaine, what's going on tonight?
Oh, not bad. Like it's fun watching you just be up there because you got involved in an incident very early in that race, and I was curious how the car was running, but I guess I don't need to ask that question.
Yeah, I felt really bad about that. Ken Roberts and I got together, and in fact, we were just talking just before I got pulled to this room, and he's good with what happened, and I really apologized, and he, in his eyes, it was a mutual accident, just a racing deal. But I pitted, and got my 4 tires second time around. So I felt really bad about it, but the car wasn't too bad. You could tell it had some trunk damage, but otherwise it was running well.
Yeah, he took the big hit on that one. I think he was actually forced to retire from that wreck. But I was curious about you too, because you hit the wall just as hard as he did. It looked like from my angle anyway. But like you said, the trunk damage, I guess your aerodynamics are on the front of the car were all good to go.
Yeah, I think also if I was sandwiched between 2 cars, I was in good shape. And what I was worried about getting in the back of the pack and not having anybody behind me. But with some pit strategy and working with Grant and Bob Seminara and Bobby Farrell, I was able to stay up front.
Right. The points are looking good. Of course, you are currently leading the points and still will be after this finish. So you'll probably end up being here for the next few races to lock in that championship run, I would assume.
Yeah, I think that's what I was really going for was, good solid finish, top 5. And, going in those last few laps, when I saw the top line with Bob Seminara leading that, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be back in the pack because they were flying up there. And then I gave Grant a big bump. Well, Bobby Farrell bumped me. I got into Grant and gave him a big push, and he went a little bit sideways up there. And I think that's the top lane down there.
Yeah, it was a lot of close calls, a lot of big wrecks. And was there much strategy going on in the pits? There was enough pit stops under yellow that it probably we didn't really come close to getting any green flag mathematics coming into any of that, eh?
Well, it was a little bit close at the very last pit because it said 20 to go, and it said we had 20 laps left in our tank. When we pitted, some people went and topped off a second time. And I think Grant had the same mindset I did, and Bob Seminara. We figured there was going to be another caution. We could save a little fuel, but we were clutching on the caution lap, saving gas.
Oh, okay. Yes, the clutching, I don't do it. I've tried. I tried to do it, but I don't even know how you guys do it on Talladega. It just seems. I mean, on the pace lap, like on the under yellow, I'll do it, but under green guys are able to do it. I don't even know how.
Yeah, I'm not good at that either. The pace laps are easy. You just get up to 72, 73 and let it coast down to 65 and then bump it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Like I said, again, congratulations. You're right at the top of the charts, overall points leader currently, and another second place finish. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, Blaine, I was just going to say that, congratulations. You're leading the points, man. It's been a pleasure having you out here. I'm glad you're coming out there regularly. You're going to be tough to beat, man. And I felt bad what happened. It wasn't one of our best races. You know that. It was tough tonight. You throw a lot of different guys out here from different places not running together. It can be difficult. I mean, we had a pretty decent race last night and the weeks before. It was pretty good racing. Tonight was tough. And but I'm glad you hung in there with Grant and Bobby Seminara and, Pat Ken Roberts, all you guys from RTG, man. You guys bring your talent here, hopefully teaching all the rest of us how to do it the right way. So I appreciate everything you do when you come out here, man. Appreciate it.
Well, you've got yourself. I mean, you're a big gun out there along with the Lavelles, and, there's some talent out here. And, I just try to hang with Grant and those guys, and, I appreciate all that you did.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I can run. It's all about having friends too, and developing that relationship and driving style. So it's all about who you work with. You can't win this alone. You're only as good as the person behind you. You know what I mean? So I love running with you. I trust every where you go. I'll follow you, and I'm sure you'll do that with me as well. So
absolutely.
Congratulations on second place, man.
Yeah, I just appreciate that, and a shout out to working with Grant and Bob Seminara. That was a good run, and I feel bad about what happened to Ken Roberts. I mean, that was awful. I don't know if it was my fault. I did pit, 2 times around, get 4 tires on both pits, so I hope I'll be okay.
Hey, man, it's racing. Things happen. But coming from the best, it was an accident, if any. So,
Roger.
we move on to the next race. But Blank, thanks, man. I'll go get the leader for us. You wrap it up with him, with Mark, and I'll be ready to look for the other guy. I got to go find him.
Yeah, like I said, thanks again for talking to us, Mark. Congratulations on the finish and your lead, the points, as we roll on through Shake and Bake season number 2. So if you got any closing statements, let her rip.
Well, I just, again, I want to give a shout out to great job that Grant did in running with Bob Seminara. Those two guys are, top of the class. If I can hang with them, I feel like I'm doing something. And, Greg Lovell, he's a great racer too. He was up there, and I think he got mixed up a little bit towards the end of that race and got pushed back. I feel bad about that for him. But I appreciate, Jeffrey and Chris, what they do for us and let us race out here.
Right on, man. Thanks
Awesome.
again.
Thanks.
And have yourself a fantastic night. We'll let you get to it.
All right, Blaine. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, Blaine, we just had to drag this interview out just a little longer because Grant had to go to the bathroom. But I think he's done now. But anyways, thanks, Mark. We'll see
All
you
right,
next
guys.
week, buddy.
Have a good night. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, it's getting good. I like watching the points. It's awesome. Grant Wesley in the 88 wins the race here. Congratulations on your first place finish, Mr. Wesley.
Thanks a lot, man. Man, talk about the tail of 2 races. Last race I was worst, and this race I'm first. How about that?
Yeah, and that's and again too, lots of weird yellow flags today. Not even, I don't know, something just was weird today. And then that last one, what happened there? Because it happened right up in the front 2 rows.
I think John Godfrey warped, if that's the one you're talking about, on the inside and got things hairy. Is that the one, Grant?
Somebody slammed Greg in the door there, and they got it sorted out. But
Yeah, that was my car that made contact with Greg, and I think that's a 63. That was just a bad bump. I'm looking at the replay right now, and the 23 and the 7 had momentum, and they were locked together, and they hit the 28 and shot him into me, and it was just a bad bump. A little bit of bumper hook was involved there, and it shot my car to the right. Fortunately, the guys outside of me did an awesome job of saving it. The 41, shout out to that guy because he did an awesome heads-up job checking up and keeping out of the 088. So, a lot of great talent up front to keep those cars pointed the right direction and going.
it was weird because I was looking at it and the bump looked fine because all you guys were straight in a line, and for some reason your car just hooked to the right. So that was just an unfortunate thing, but I mean, race back to the yellow and you ended up being in front. So right place, right time. I guess the bump actually did work.
Yeah, that, and I hate it for those guys. They had an awesome run coming off turn 2. I was just kind of licking my wounds going down the backstretch. I was just, going to see where I'd fall in place and take another stab at it maybe on the last lap. But, after, we made contact going into 3 there, I just went ahead and automatically shot to the bottom. And Bob, a pretty stand-up guy there, he pretty well just left me the middle. He didn't want to shoot down in front of my nose. I'm sure he thought I was going to stay in the middle lane, but we were both yielding that middle lane to each other. So I jumped back up before he did and took it away.
Yeah, such an awesome race, especially when there's like 39 guys that start the race. It's just such a different vibe than if there's only a dozen. It's always fun to watch any style of race, but the numbers that come out here every week is just crazy.
Oh yeah, racing in big fields like this, like you see at RTG and you see here on Saturdays, is just, you don't take it for granted. It's been around for a while, and just have to appreciate whenever you get this many people together.
Yeah, NASCAR this game turns 20 years old today, so that's amazing.
To cut in about that, Grant, I mean, gift cards I have to give out to these guys is to get them out here. No, I'm just kidding.
Bribing everybody.
My biggest question to Grant is, how's your bladder feel? Much better?
Oh, geez. Yeah, my eyeballs are floating like the last 10 laps of the race. And, yeah, I told Jeff, I was like, as soon as I do this burnout, I'm running to the bathroom.
That's why I extended the third and second place interviews a little bit, to give you plenty of time to relieve yourself, sir, because I don't know how bad I'm sure Blaine seemed to burn out, but I haven't. Real quick, I just want to throw in thanks for coming out, man. I'm glad Bob and what's who else? So you got Bobby, yourself, and Mark, and the top guys at RTG come out here and just to give your talents to the rest of us. We appreciate that every time you guys can make it. It's a big field, man. You got you guys at different levels at Talladega, and you're the best, obviously. So congratulations on first place. You're hard to beat, but you know what? I'll finish fifth behind you every time. But man, you show a great example out here. And hopefully we all can get to that level. But, it is what it is. It's Talladega. It wasn't the best race, but I'm glad you hang in there. And congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jeff.
All right, Mr. Broadcaster, Mr. Blaine, finish this interview up, and I'll let you wrap it up, young man. Thanks for having me help you out tonight, trying to drive and do all this at the same time. It is hard. I don't know how I finished fifth, but I'll take it. But, man, what a great weekend. Thanks a lot, Blaine.
Right on, man. Yeah, I was going to say, too, about the bathroom breaks. The maniacs over there at IRSL. Andrew was broadcasting that thing to commemorate or wish NASCAR Racing 2003 season a happy 20th birthday. They ran Daytona 100%. So they ran 500 miles. And the broadcasters are able to take a bathroom break, but the drivers wouldn't be. I don't know if that would be fun.
No, that'd be too much, too long.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, normally it's not an issue for me, but I guess I just drank a lot of pop or something before this one, and I had to go.
Well, I have plenty of Mountain Dew.
Too much NOS energy drink, that's what it was.
If you get tired at NOS, you can jump over to the green puke car and grab some Mountain Dew anytime you like, sir.
Only Code Red.
Yeah, there's enough sugar drinks out on that track to keep you guys going all night.
All right, guys, have a good night. Wrap this up, Blaine, and good to see you again, Wesley.
Yep, thanks.
Right on, man. Yeah, like I say, congratulations, Grant. If you've got any closing statements you want to say, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to thank all those guys that I was racing around tonight up front. Bob Seminara, Mark Paglia, Bobby Farrell, Doug Hewlick. Those are faces that I just kept finding, and I really enjoy working with those guys, RTG guys there. And so just thanks to those guys. I'd like to thank you, Blaine, man, doing your broadcast thing here. I watched last week's awesome music. Golly, pretty cool stuff. I'd like to thank the Elliots, Jeff and Chris, everything they do. I know they got a cast, a crew behind them there, the admins here. I appreciate everything they do to put this on. I'd like to thank my teammates with XFM, my friends and family for watching, and my girlfriend Brittany.
Right on, man. Yeah, the music, all people I know. So I'm surrounded by a bunch of talented people, and they let me use their tunes. So that's fantastic, man. Yeah, thanks again for coming out. Thanks for the kind words. And I guess I'll just let you get going. I'll wrap this up, and I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, 10-4. Appreciate it, man.
Right on, man. We'll see you out here again, hopefully sometime soon.
Sounds good.
Right on. Have a good night. Congratulations.
You as well.
Grant wins this evening. Under yellow, unfortunately, but it was a good race. I mean, some really weird caution flags. And sometimes if they just don't feel like the accidents that happened this evening were just strange. All these guys, all 40 of these guys are professionals and veterans in this game. And then sometimes you see these little accidents and you're going, those are mistakes these guys usually don't make. And all that stuff happened tonight. But at the end of the day, like Jeffrey said, sometimes it's just in the cards. You're gonna have a weird night like this. We had seven yellows. Let's see, it probably says it on the standings. 7 cautions for 27 of the 57 laps. Not horrible. And it definitely worked out for a bunch of guys because it is still a race that they still do track all those points, and they do matter. So thank you again to all the drivers who started this race. According to that list we're looking at right here, it's 36 of them. It's just a fantastic show, as always. Thanks to everybody for watching. If you like the channel, subscribe, thumbs up. Links to all the music I use below in the description. And most importantly, the Talladega Nights Racing League, which hosted this event. Thanks to those guys. Jeff, Chris, Bob, the administrators, everybody on the track. It's always fun. Where's my credits? We'll roll some credits and we'll get out of here. So like I said, like I always say, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together. Have yourself some good mosh pitting. Keep your stick out of the ice.